Clayton, obviously Chris Rodriguez was a big part of Kentucky's game plan, and I would think you guys concentrating on stopping him. Is it the same kind of thing with a Devin Achane for Texas A&M, or how are they similar and different?
They're definitely different in just the size, the types of runner they are. Obviously, Rodriguez is a big, powerful back, and Achane is obviously fast scat back, also with power. He's a football player that's really fast, and that's the major difference.
David Spalding obviously coming back in and making an impact pretty quickly last week. What did it mean to be able to get him back out there and playing safety, which I guess we hadn't seen much of him during games?
It was definitely nice getting David back in the fold. He's been a player since the day one, since we got here. He's always sitting right in this meeting room right here and trying to learn the game, learn all positions, and you always tell guys you never know when your number's going to get called. And that week, unfortunately, we was down 2 safeties, and he had to go play free safety for the first time since we've been here, and thought he did a great job of responding, and just it really a credit to his work from day one, trying to be a football IQ guy and just be a defensive back and not pencil himself at one position. But it was awesome having him back there. It was big time for us.
Hey, Clayton, hope you're doing well. Shane said during the week going to Kentucky, you guys challenged the defensive line to start kind of finishing more plays than they had the 6 sacks. Did you notice anything different with them during the week, or did you have maybe an inkling that was coming?
Wow. It's all right, buddy. So, the main thing that happened, we went back, we kind of treated the week of Charlotte and the week of South Carolina State as a week to also self-scout, assess ourselves, and to make sure that what can we fix. And we had literally missed a tackle on 10 sacks, and we were one step away from 10 others the first 4 games. And we kind of just pointed those things out, and we have a couple of those sacks that those guys just made the plays at the end, at the top of the drop of the quarterback, and it was big time. And watching guys just to finish those tackles, it really was just finishing the plays. We've been back there with pressure. We just haven't been able to keep contained, or the quarterback will roll out. Like you think about Charlotte, maybe 3 times he rolled out, stuff like that. So we just had to a little bit more fundamental sound with those things.
Clayton, with the Kentucky game, you guys obviously pick up the fumble on literally the first play, the first play from scrimmage. As a defensive coordinator, when your guys are flying around and make a play like that on, literally the first play, what does that do for you guys as a group? What is that like on the sideline? And I guess what did you kind of see from your group, right off the bat?
Yeah. We got to start doing press conference in the off week. Kentucky feel like it was a month ago, man. What we talking about here? Good God. Let me think back. Kentucky, the first play of the game, obviously it was a big momentum shift for the team, and it was awesome, man.
Yeah. A bunch of the guys have talked about Zach Pickens kind of being the driving force between a lot of the commitment in practice and all those types of improvements. What makes him effective as sort of an emotional leader for this group?
Zach is, I think all these guys are emotional in their own way. And Zach way is just, he finds his ways to talk to certain guys on the defense. And he's one of those guys, if he tells one group, obviously they're going to spread it. And it's one of those things that his presence himself and just how he plays is the way he leads this defense and this football team. And we know he's a man, you know what I mean? So it's like the guys just respect him. He's not saying he's a bully or nothing like that, but he's the big guy in the group. So everybody's going to respect Zach Pickens and listen to Zach because he's been here and he works hard every day. So that's the more, and he's never, in trouble or never, in the doghouse, as you would say. But he's a teacher's pet. he brings apples to teachers and stuff like that. So that's where Zach Pickens, that's what he is.
Obviously, RJ's no longer with the team now, but I guess what does that mean for that safety group when you're down another guy like that for the rest of the season?
Yep, always want to wish guys well when they decide to move on and do the same thing to RJ. What it means to that group is now guys, obviously, unfortunately, he wasn't able to play a lot this year, so it doesn't really affect us it affects our depth chart. His name not on the board anymore, but as far as that's the way we've been all fall. Unfortunately.
Clayton, I guess the last 3 weeks have probably been some of your better efforts, at least your group's efforts against the run. I guess, is that just a product of guys getting more comfortable, getting a few games under their belt? What are you seeing against, Charlotte, South Carolina State, Kentucky that you guys have been able to do that's maybe replicable the back half of the schedule?
being honest, it's a combination of all of it. You know what I mean? Different styles of offense you're playing, different schemes, different players. And I will give our guys a ton of credit on locking in on trying to be better at certain things and tighten up the details of the run game and just still understand that it takes all 11 front and coverage work hand in hand. You can't do this and stop this, and you're going to be short somewhere. So we just getting a better understanding of how to play team defense against spread offenses, condensed offenses, motions and shifts and all that kind of stuff, and fast backs and big backs. And it's not easy out there, but I think our guys have, to give them credit, they have toned in a little bit more and trying to tighten things up.
I think I probably asked you about going against Coach Fisher and his offenses. Talked to you about it last year. Just, I guess, your general thoughts on him and his style, his system, and what you've encountered over the years when you've faced his teams.
Yep, he's definitely been around for a while. He's an offensive guy, offensive guru who understands his system, and you have to do a great job of just studying the tape, and obviously when you get to the game, it's going to be things that you haven't seen. You have to do a great job of adjusting and understand his strengths of his players and his calls and how he set things up. So, I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, and just obviously excited for them to come to William Bryce on Saturday. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yep.